Hi guys. Okay, so I'm back finally. After finals, I've had like a few weeks to debrief. I've been sick off and on. I'm still kind of getting over a little cold. Like it was really weird. Like I was sick for 2 weeks during finals. I felt like crap during finals. I got better for a week and a half and then I got sick again. So I'm like clearing it up. So you might hear me sniffle or like clear my throat. But anyways, as the title of this video says, I'm making a video about what to pack, what not to pack, and what to kind of expect when you're moving to Grenada. It's very interesting because even before COVID, I kept getting asked like, can you make a video about what to bring and what not to bring? But I just never did because honestly, what in my head, I had anticipated it to do it summer 2020 when I was getting ready to pack to go back in August because I usually bring down more in August. And then COVID happened. And now this term is my last time going back to Grenada ever. And I want this video to be out there for you guys. And even though I probably won't be packing to my maximum capacity because I'm only going back for one semester, I still just wanted to sit here and talk to you guys about what to expect, what to bring, what to not worry about, and just cover all bases. And because I'm so thorough, I will preface this by saying this is a long video. It might be a long video, rather. I never script out my videos. I kind of just go on a whim. I want them very natural. I don't like to sugarcoat and lie. Like, if I'm putting it out here, it's because I think it's like the best interest. It's like what I personally feel like is like what I've seen, what I've experienced, and what's best. So I hope you enjoy this. Hope you appreciate it. And for any of you that might be moving back to Grenada this fall, August 2021, or if you're watching this in the future because you're just interested in what to bring, I hope you're excited to move to Grenada. But let's get started. So I'm going to break this video up into a few different categories. So I have like a little list here that I'm going to go off of. So I'm going to go through what to bring, what not to bring, and then I'm going to talk about how to get stuff down there. I'm going to leave that to the end. So this is, yeah, like I said, it's going to kind of be a long video, but it's very thorough and I feel like it all goes together. So please bear with me. I hope it answers a lot of questions of like what to bring. I also want to preface this video by saying students are constantly coming in and leaving out. So anything that you want on the island, anything that you need, more than likely somebody has it and somebody will be selling it soon. That's how I acquired my crock pot. I got my rice cooker that way. I've gotten so much stuff. I got like a baking pan because people have it and then they sell it for cheap. And usually it's like mildly used because most people aren't on the island for that long. And so I wouldn't like be stressed like, oh my God, I need to like bring everything in my life down there because somebody is selling it. And also you can find everything on the island that you need. So like as you watch this video, don't feel like freaked out like how am I going to get all this stuff down there? You know, how am I going to like relocate my whole life? Like trust me, like you can always find it on the island. It might be a little bit more expensive, but like don't feel pressed to spend like hundreds of dollars like sending extra bags or like shipping a barrel down or like trying to find someone to fly with you. It's there. And in one of my old videos, somebody asked it best, what is the one thing I wish I knew or I never knew I needed until I didn't have it available in Grenada? And there's honestly nothing. The first semester I moved down, I didn't have a microwave for the first time. My gas, I had my stove I had to light with a match for the first time. I only had hot water in my shower, not in my living room, not in my sinks. I only had air conditioning in my room. I literally just, I didn't bring a lot of utensils. So I learned to make a lot of stuff from scratch. I peeled potatoes by knives. And it was me trying to save money, not buying so much stuff in a grocery store, but also like for the first time living without all of the convenience in the 21st century. Everyone's not like me and everyone's not willing to do that. And so I always say, if you're willing to do more, do it. I've shipped stuff down there and I've acquired things throughout the years, but I don't want anyone to ever feel like you're going down there and you're just gonna be in the dark. There'll be so many upperclassmen to guide you. You can always find stuff being sold and there's always stuff in the store. And some people just buy it once they're there. That's totally fine. I'm just kind of like giving a synopsis of your options. So, okay. Hi, Toulouse. I swear, like my last few videos, Toulouse has come out. Do you want to make your debut on this video? Here's my cat Toulouse for all of you who don't know him. He also just got this brand new collar, this bow tie collar that I got him. And yeah. I will be talking about some of the stuff with pets, so stay tuned, but I'm not going to start off the video with that. You know, people ask about you. You have fans too. You know that? Okay. So, anyways, let's get started. So first, I'm going to start off with what to bring. I feel like the list of things to bring is a little bit longer than the stuff of not to bring, and it's kind of more important because most people want to know what to bring down and not so much not what to bring. I don't know. That's how I'm thinking of it. So I have a list. So I'm just gonna go down and kind of like explain some things. I feel like some things will be a little obvious. For one, be sure to bring adapters, converters, and transformers, and or rather should I say. And the reason I say this is because even if you're in the dorms, even if you're living off campus and your place has American outlets, sometimes you're gonna be places that don't have American outlets. Even on campus, some of the sitting areas, like you'll only see the Grenadian outlets and you really need to charge your laptop. So like what I do is I always keep a little converter in my book bag just so I can like, you know, if I need it. That was my dog. Ignore that sound if it even picked up on the camera. Some people are often confused about a converter or a transformer. Sometimes some places use them synonymously, but basically it's a thing that transforms the US voltage, which is usually 100 to 120, to the Grenada or like the UK, which is like 200 to 240 voltages. And so basically, like if you bring your blender down there and you just plug it into the wall, a lot of times it's gonna blow, unless they have American sockets. And so basically you have the transformer to convert it so it doesn't blow. Because trust me, everyone's done it. You learn it the hard way, so I'm trying to save y'all. And if you know you're bringing an appliance down there, just check on the back, check the wattage, check how much power it uses, because there's different size transformers. I think that go up to 2,000 volts, but if you have a blender that's only using 9,000 watts, then maybe you only need a 1,000 watt transformer, etc. Just do your research. I'm not gonna go all into that. Bring an extension cord. Sometimes, like, you know, in a room you might only have like, even in your apartment, you only have like 2 outlets, or it's like in a weird spot in a room. Bring extension cords. People always appreciate them. Hangers, it's a weird thing, but they're really expensive on the island. The dorms on campus don't come with them, and you have this closet, you don't have shelves, so you will need hangers. And even like in a lot of off-campus apartments, every now and then you might look out where the person before you left and they left them, but like for the most part, especially now as I'm making this video, a lot of people have been off the island, so I really don't know the condition that we're going back to, like housing and stuff. Like a lot of times, like it's probably been cleaned out, stuff like that. Bring hangers. Another stuff is pillows, which my girlfriend recommended this one, but I get why. So pillows a lot of times are really expensive on the island. And so I would just say at least bring one pillow. Like bring one. If you're someone that needs like 10 in the bed, I guess you can like, you know, spend a little more down there, but at least bring your own pillow, just because like on the island there's not that much variety. And if you really love your pillow, bring your pillow. Bring toiletries, anything that like you specifically want. This is like even what I was told when I went to tour SGU. If you use a fancy shampoo, a fancy soap, you have that specific shaving cream you like, or that specific lotion, bring that, because 9 times out of 10 you're not going to be able to find it down there. If you just forget something, trust me, you can find it. And if you're not picky, don't worry about like weighing down your luggage with soap and shampoo and stuff like that, because you can find it down there. But for me, especially like being Black, and the shampoo I use, a lot of times in general, they're a little bit more expensive even here in the States. And so down there, even if I do happen to find it, it's super expensive. But side note to like all my Black followers who might be going down there who like to get their hair braided, it's super cheap down there, like super cheap. I'm talking like $30-40 US to get like really, really nice braids. Side note. And to all my non-Black people, not to say that you can't get your hair braided, but I just know it's something in like Black culture to do that. But trust me, a lot of students get their hair braided just because. Okay, keeping going. Definitely bring chargers for all of your electronic devices. I've heard that the mall, which is close to like where the grocery store and stuff is starting to sell like even things like Apple pens and stuff down there. So it's not to say you can't find it, but it's going to be so expensive. And the reason I'm telling you to bring all of this stuff down is to try to save you money. It's the things that like I feel like these are worth being in your luggage as opposed to buying it down there. All of this stuff, you know, you could probably find down there, but these are the things I would put higher on my list if I was trying to decide. Definitely bring your favorite snacks. If you're a snack person, like for me, it's Cheez-Its. You can't find Cheez-Its on the island. The only place I've been able to find them is in the campus convenience store, and they're the little bitty snack packs, but boxes of Cheez-Its are non-existent. I will be making an updated grocery video. It won't be helpful to any of you coming back in August with me, but for future people watching this, maybe it's on my page. I would say bring strong bug spray, especially if you're coming down in the August month. It's the rainy season, or the August term, the fall term. It's the rainy season, and the mosquitoes are like strong because there's water. And the mosquitoes are brutal down there. And you know, it's like one of those things like, you know, mosquitoes prefer some people. So like, if you're one of those people that the mosquitoes are gonna eat up, they're gonna eat you up all the time. Coincidentally, down there, I didn't really get eaten up by mosquitoes, but better safe than sorry. This is like something going into clothing. Obviously, I can't go into what to bring and what not to bring for clothing, like you do you, boo. But definitely it's something that a lot of people don't think, like when they're going to a hot Caribbean island, is to bring long sleeves, a hoodie, some sweatpants, because guys, those classrooms, the dorms, I never lived in the dorms, but I had friends who lived in the dorms. They are freezing, and the classrooms are freezing cold. And so there's no dress code for class. I get asked that a lot. There's no dress code. You can wear shorts, you can wear a tank top, wear flip flop, you know, look professional. Don't like come in there like in your underwear or something, but it's so cold. So a lot of people will have like a hoodie or a blanket in their locker. You can only get a locker if you live off campus. If you live on campus, you know, you just run to your dorm before classes. Yeah, and they bring it to class because it's so cold. And then you just take it off when you leave. So that's something to bring. I get asked about shoes. I always say, you know, bring a pair of things you wear to the beach. Bring some hiking shoes if you're that adventurous type person. And just bring your like your regular day shoes. Definitely bring an umbrella. It rains randomly out of the middle of nowhere. I feel like down there it's really unpredictable to rely on like the weather app on your phone. If it says it's gonna rain at 2 o'clock, it probably will rain for 5 minutes, but then maybe it said it was gonna be sunny the rest of the day and it downpours at 4 o'clock for 20 minutes. So like have an umbrella on you at all times because you never know. Bring a pair or two of nice clothes. Like for one, if you're going into the doctor or vet program, you're gonna have your white coat ceremony, and it happens where a lot of people just kind of forget that. And also, you never know, like you might find a little boo down there and you want to dress up and go on a little date. You know, a lot of people do little dinner parties with their friends, or, you know, just a night out, and you never know, you might have like a mini interview for some strange reason. There's all the time rep companies coming down. You know, you can be student ambassadors for different things. So you want to just have like a nice outfit or two. You don't need to go crazy with that. Like even if you only brought one for the first semester, you probably never wear it, but it's safe than sorry. Brita filter, yes and no. You know, the water is safe down there to drink. I get asked that all the time. I drink the water from the tap. I do have a Brita filter for filling up my water bottle. For some reason, I feel like quote unquote filtered water is just like a different type of cold than water straight out the tap. But if I'm like super thirsty and my Brita filter isn't full, I will drink out of the tap. I brush my teeth with the tap water. Some people say that the island water makes their stomach hurt, but it is safe to drink. You know, some people are a little more bougie than me. They don't want to. So that's like personal preference. You can find it down there. And the last thing is I would say bring your pet stuff, because pet stuff is not in super abundance down there. Like you can find your leash, your collars, your pet toys. You know, they sell litter boxes, all of that stuff. But like, if you can pack some of your pet stuff, that's just my advice. I brought all of Toulouse's stuff down there. I've shipped stuff down there, blah, blah, blah. So I think that's like on my to bring list. And this doesn't mean that like, if I didn't name something, it's not to say that like you shouldn't bring it. Like, you know, the school has a list of things out there, like, you know, school supplies and these clothes and, you know, flashlights and stuff like that. I definitely think you should bring stuff like that. You know, bring your medications, bring as much medications as you can down at a time. I know like your pet's medications, they can be refilled. We have a small animal clinic. There is a clinic on campus and a pharmacy right outside of campus if you're on a medication. But, you know, I'm just like trying to give like an overview. And like, obviously there's like other things, like I could go super in depth, but like I would be here all day. Like the other things I feel like it's like, you know, personal preference at your discretion. So going into things of not to bring, I would say like don't bring too many designer clothes. If you're one of those people who are very fortunate to have a lot of like designer bags, designer clothes, designer shoes, like you don't need that down there. Like I said, you know, I found my boo on the island. You might find your little bae down there too. But for the most part, even if you go out on like dates and stuff, like it's not like you're gonna need to be like dressed to the tens, like, you know, like it's just like, you know, you can just look casual. Like for me, like I just wear like my button down shirts, like some shorts and my Sperry's, like that's my like go out outfit down there, you know, like. And also I wouldn't say like I don't want to like alert anyone, but like crime is everywhere, and usually in Grenada it's like petty theft, and students a lot of times are targeted because they know we bring in nice stuff. So like don't set yourself up for that. Like I don't want to alarm anyone. I feel 101% safe down there. Like I've never felt threatened, but I also do know the campus sends out security alerts where people just get little small things taken off of them, and normally it's not designer stuff. I'm just saying, don't set yourself up. And you really don't need it. If you bring like nice shoes, like I just said earlier in this video, it rains out of nowhere. They're gonna get messed up. Like I just don't feel like you need to like stress it to bring it down there, is what I'm saying. You don't need to bring a car. I've been asked that several times. Should I ship my car down there? Big answer is no. It's so expensive to do that. There are cars down there for people to buy. I can do another car video later if people have it, because I could go more in depth into that. I think I actually did. I made a video about I bought a car, and I think I kind of went over it. I'm not really sure how long was that video was a long time ago, but don't worry about that. The taxes are so expensive. You're only going to be over there for 2 to 3 years, typically, if you're in a vet or med school. Obviously, I know some people watching me go into the pre-vet and pre-med and undergrad program, so you're there a little longer. But generally, you're not going to be there long term to spend all that money. Not only that, the roads aren't amazing down there, and so your car just has a lot of wear and tear on it. And so, like, yes, the cars down there are a little older, but I just feel like it's worth it. It's a part of the experience of going down there. Like, you don't need it there. I wouldn't bring an iron. I brought an iron. Again, this is from personal experience. My girlfriend brought an iron. My roommate brought an iron. I don't think any of us ever used it. For one, it's always so hot down there. Like your clothes are gonna iron itself. But two, I hang dry all my clothes, which a lot of people do. You'll find out just because it's so expensive to run a dryer down there. Like, you don't need an iron. The next thing is printers, desktop computers, TVs. I wouldn't waste my money bringing that because you're going to be taxed so much to import that into the country. A lot of things are super expensive because everything's imported and it's taxed. But I don't know, if you're a gamer, if your significant other does a lot of cool computery stuff, maybe you want to spend that little extra money. But honestly, like I've known several significant others who make do like maybe on 2 laptops max. I don't want to ever tell anyone they shouldn't do something. If you're fortunate enough and you're willing to pay that money, by all means do it. But I just don't think it's worth it. And as far as printing, at least speaking for me for the vet school, is we have $125 allotted to us each term to print. In med and undergrad, it's very similar. It's 5 cents, I think, give or take, to print a page. And people who print all of their notes never get close to that. So it's just not worth it to send down a printer. Just saying. The last thing is like Camo. It's like against the rules of like Grenada. Even SGU tells incoming students like no camo. I don't really know why. I think it has something to do with like that's like official government and police uniform. So like no camo, like the green and brown, no camo. And that kind of like wraps up like my do's and don'ts of what to bring. Like obviously be flexible with that. And so now I'm gonna kind of go into how to bring that down. So a lot of people obviously are traveling alone. Then you have people who are traveling with their significant others and people traveling with a family member just to help them move in. And I could tell you all different ways to like mix and match and overcome this, but like I'm just gonna speak generally, you know? So when I first went down, my dad and my stepmom flew with me. So I was able to have my 2 checked bags, a carry-on, and I brought my cat. And then they were able to have 2 checked bags, 2 carry-ons. And so I was able to bring, I think like 5 suitcases of a lot of stuff down. That's not realistic for some people. But if you can have a family member or a friend help you, that does help. Let's scratch that and act like it's just you. So I'm gonna speak about if you or the student are traveling down. You'll have 2 bags and 2 carry-ons allotted for you. I travel with my cat, so he travels as one of my carry-ons, so I get 1 carry-on bag, which kind of sucks, but I love my cat. He's not going anywhere. So if you have a lot of stuff to bring down, I always recommend shipping a barrel. The most popular company that a lot of students use is called Amerijet. And you can go on there and quote, I will preface this by saying It can be costly. You're gonna spend a few $100s to ship it down there, and you might pay another $150 to clear customs down there and taxes. But my pros and why I recommend it so strongly is because you can send a barrel one time, you can ship so much down. You want your blender, you want your coffee maker, you want your crock pot, you want your cat's bed, you want your dog's crate. You can get all that down there in one shipment. Some people send multiple barrels down. My roommate sent 4. If you're in a situation where you don't really have anywhere back home to keep your stuff, people ship all their stuff down. And I will say, if you're somebody who makes a smoothie every single morning, send a blender down. Pack it in your suitcase if you're not gonna ship Amerijet. If you're somebody who wants your coffee, send your Keurig machine down. Are you someone that likes smoothies sometimes and you just wanna make a smoothie to switch it up? Somebody on the island will be selling something. So don't be worried about it. You can always find a student who's leaving that's gonna be selling everything under the sun. But if you want your stuff, if you want it down there, especially if you're moving back in August, I would recommend if you have a lot of stuff, ship a barrel. That's your easiest bet to get stuff down. You can also send crates through Amerijet in boxes. And if you're not near an Amerijet, you can also find private shipping companies that send cargo to Grenada. I just personally find it's easier for students because the Amerijet pickup center is so close to campus and so close to the airport. And for students who've never been to the island, it's the easiest thing. But it is possible to go to the actual cargo yard in town. I've done it. I did it when I knew the island. But your taxi driver, somebody will know how to get there and you can do it. But I say Amerijet. If you have any questions, you can message me on Facebook or Instagram. I always leave that below. As far as mail works, because some people are oh, my parents will send me something down, or I can order on Amazon. Amazon doesn't really go down there. I know a lot of Grenadians have told me you can get Amazon, but I can't order an Amazon package to the school. You have to have the forwarded PO box, and that's just really complicated for as a student to set it up. Mail is super expensive. I think my mom has spent $150 to send a USPS large priority box down there, and then it was almost $50 for me to clear customs. So I always just try to tell people, bring what you need down. And if somebody's coming down during the semester, even if someone in your class, people will say does anyone know anyone coming down? I'll send Amazon, I'll send this to their house in the States, and then they fly it down with them. So there's all types of tips and tricks to get stuff down there, and I can elaborate more if someone wants to know, but I think that's your best bet. I also do want to touch one thing on pets. Currently, a lot of people have been kind of stressed out just because of the recent ESA ban on animals. That was usually the only way for people to get their pets to and from Grenada. They're large dogs, let me say that. Just because Grenada has, or airlines have, a temperature requirement for animals to fly cargo. And because it's usually always over 85 degrees in Grenada, animals can't fly cargo. It's very hit or miss. And you really wouldn't know ahead of time what the weather's gonna be because it goes off of that moment. And ESAs have gotten banned. It's not a Grenada thing, it's not an SGU thing, it's all airlines. So now if you have a large dog, there's no way to fly them. Currently, SGU's trying to work on that. There's not a solution, and I don't know if there's a solution, if it will be ongoing. So all I can say that is if you have a cat or if you have a small dog, you're still good to fly, because I never registered for Toulouse as an ESA. As long as your pet can fit under the seat in a carrier, so it's 20 pounds or less and it can fit in a carrier under the seat, you're still good to fly your pet down. The problem becomes an animal that cannot fit in a crate. Unfortunately, I don't have any advice right now. Maybe once SGU announces what they're doing, I can come back and make a video about that for people, because I know so many people do follow me. But as of right now, that's the most information that I have on that. Okay, so I just want to end this out just giving a few things about coming to Grenada just to think about. One, if you're coming into vet or med, be sure to bring some scrubs. You will need scrubs. SGU's policy is no patterns. They prefer no loud colors, so white, it's gonna get dirty, lime green, lime pink, bring solid neutral colors. You will need a white coat, especially for vet, I will say. for vet and med, you get a white coat in like your 3rd week of school. But for vet, you know, we do full anatomy, cadaver labs, and your sleeves get wet or not wet, but they get stained. So I would always recommend bringing like a cheap white coat down, maybe from Amazon, just so you can use that in your anatomy labs and save your nice white coat for clinicals or in your higher terms when you're going to the small animal clinic and stuff like that. As a vet student, you do need to bring boots. They have to come up to your shins. They can't be at your ankles. You don't have to bring coveralls. It's recommended. It's really hot and you won't get beat up or like in trouble if you only wear scrubs. I think I wore my coveralls all of once on the island. You get a stethoscope for vet and med when you start. In your term 1, in your books, you're gonna receive a stethoscope. Some people still bring their own, but you do get one that you can use. 2, a lot of people are always looking for housing that has dryers and stuff, and dryers are hit or miss on the island. Some places and a lot of newer places have them. It's really cool. There's this little thing, it's a washer and a dryer in one, because my girlfriend's old apartment had one. But a lot of times the cycle takes like 7 hours. It's so long, the whole cycle from wash to dry. But like my place has a dryer, but it runs your electric bill up so high. So like, you know, be open to change. A lot of students dry their clothes. I feel like a lot of places are starting to conform to US students now, but there's nothing wrong with it. On-campus housing has free washers and dryers for you to use if you're living on campus. Dishwashers aren't a thing. I recently saw that dishwashers aren't a huge thing down there. Like if you come across one, that's like a rarity, but that's not really a thing. A lot of places are pet friendly in Grenada. And when I say places like off-campus housing, ESAs aren't recognized in Grenada. So if you find a place that's not pet friendly, if you try to say it's an ESA or even an official service dog that's not recognized down there, you will have to find a pet friendly place to live. Different landlords have different recommendations on that, or not recommendations, but different requirements. If it's a pet deposit, if it's free, if it's monthly, blah, 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 blah. A lot of places, electric is not included. Air condition and your dryer is going to be the main things that run up your electric bill. For the most part, I always feel safe in Grenada. It's something I get asked quite a bit. I always feel safe. I've made a lot of local friends too, and a lot of people like are interested in like hearing about the students. What they don't like is when there's like snobby students and very entitled, you know, students. No one likes that. I don't even like those type of people. And hopefully like we've weeded those out with the coronavirus. And I don't know, I'm just trying to think of some other things that like I get commonly asked. I think a lot of people are just really excited to come back, and there's like so much apprehension because like that cycle of like coming in as just one new class has been broken, and there's so many people who've never been down there and don't know what to expect. But you'll be great. If y'all have any other questions and want any other videos throughout this summer, I'll be happy to make them. Even not regarding SGU and Grenada, please comment some ideas below, because like I miss making videos, I miss editing them, and I'm so happy to be on break now. I am going to Guatemala in July, so there will be videos with that. But in the meantime, if you want to see something around Atlanta, y'all want to see me try food, or y'all just want to know more about me, about something, Grenada, SGU, vet, I'm in an acupuncture course, I don't know, just let me know and I'll make a video. So comment below, message me if you have any other questions. But I know this video is long. I'm pretty sure it's like 30 minutes. If it's not 30 minutes, gonna be very, very surprised. But until then, stay awesome. Don't get sick like me. I did not have coronavirus. I'm fully vaccinated. I've been fully vaccinated over a month, and I took a COVID test and I'm negative. But stay healthy, stay safe, and stay happy. And until next time,